first off, here you go. He said the limit was 2 to 3 minutes. I got a little excessive, so bear with me, please. So I've been going to this church pretty much ever since I was born. I believe my mom and dad were here at the old church before this building was even built. I was baptized here as a baby. And my mom sings up here. You just saw her singing the last song just a second ago. Where's she at? She there? Is that you? It is. All right. So I remember I went to preschool here and all that. You don't care about that, but so I never really like enjoyed going to church, even as like a little kid. Like it was just a thing that me and my family went to on Sundays. I just get it over with, go home. I worry about it next Sunday, right? Then when I was in 6th grade, I started going to the pre-confirmation events, which that's what they just called that, pre-confirmation. I really didn't like those, I was going to be honest with you. I kind of just watched the clock for 2 hours and went home after that. So, but during that time, I started middle school, and when I was in middle school, I started to worry a lot more about what other people thought of me, and I'd become a lot more paranoid, and I've always like stuck out, like personality-wise. I never really fit in with those like popular people, and that always bothered me, right? So I'd try and I'd criticize little things about myself, but I never prayed about anything. I never opened my Bible. I had a family that I was exposed to God and Jesus all the time, but I never even thought about going to prayer about it. I just kind of leaned on my own understanding. Look at me, I'm quoting the Bible. I'm so good at this. Anyways, where even was I? I don't remember. So I remember, I'll skip ahead a little bit. After 8th grade, I was done with middle school. I went to camp in Colorado. It was the very last one we ever went on. And I really dreaded this. I did not want to go on this trip at all. And the first few days were a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. But by the end of the week, I could go on for a long time about how important this week was in my life. But by the end of the week, it all just kind of switched my mind a little bit. Like, man, I need to, put my faith in God. I need to get this together, right? And I wish that my story ended there and everything was all good. But when I entered high school, I started being a lukewarm Christian. Which, if you asked me the question, do you believe in God? I said yes, but there's nothing in my life that, the way I talked, things I did, you could never even guess that. Plus, in middle school, after middle school, I lost a lot of friends that went to a different high school than me, so I didn't have a lot of friends going into high school. So my mental state started to get a lot worse from there. And, I tried to change these little things about myself to make me fit in, and it never really worked, and I just kind of struggled a lot there. So freshman and my sophomore year of high school, pretty much all through it, I went from this really extroverted kid I used to be to I was very quiet. I didn't speak unless someone spoke to me first. So I just kind of struggled there. And then at the end of my sophomore year, I got out. It was the summer, and I'm kind of, it's late at night. It's probably well past midnight at this point, and I'm just kind of pacing around my room a little bit. I'm really just kind of beating myself up for every little thing, but just for something completely different. I'm kind of just pacing around my room, like I said, and I do what anybody would do when they want to get better mentally, which is go on social media, and I opened TikTok of all things, and the first video I saw was a Christian video, which that in itself is a lot because at the time I didn't really get stuff like that on my social media. It was very a lot different. Thankfully I've cleaned it up since then, but back then I didn't get videos like that. So not only was this the first thing I saw, but this guy, I think I still have a video saved, I don't know, but he was just speaking to me about all these problems, and it wasn't just like a little thing that like connected with me. It was like every individual detail was like, this really is speaking to me here. And he was basically just saying, like, no matter how far you are from God, He's always there for you. He's always with you. You can always go back to Him. You can always lean on Him. And that was just something, like, because I always wanted to fit in, and I never felt like someone really understand me. And what I was basically being told is, God understands me, Jesus understands me. And that, I went to prayer right away, and that was probably the first time in months I prayed. And I only say months because I prayed when I needed something. Like, if I had a chemistry test the next day, I prayed my heart out. It didn't work most of the time because I didn't study. But, I lost where I was again. So this was probably the first time, though, where I really cried out to God. I said, God, I need you right now. I need your help. And I wish I could say from there it was, it's been perfect. And since then I have, I've prayed as much as I can. I read my Bible. But, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect. There's times where I forget to pray. I forget to read my Bible. But now I care about that stuff. I used to not, that didn't even cross my mind, but now that's something I really try to focus on. So nowadays, that was less than a year ago that this story happened. So it's just a year ago. God wasn't even it didn't even cross my mind with the fact that I need to get better at this. But now I'm in a much better place. And a lot of it is, she told me not to make me cry, but a lot of it is thanks to my mom. Because, she hosts the life group with the worship team and stuff, and she's always exposed me to stuff like that. My dad helps me out a lot too, and I don't think I've ever even told them how much that they've really helped me with my walk with God and behind the scenes. So I'm just really thankful for what they've done in my life, and I'm in a much better place now. I still got a lot of work to do, but I've God to help me, so I don't have to worry about anything. So that's all I got. Thank you.